All right, a couple things. Just looking at some of these stats and see Parker's got 105 wins. So we must have missed his 100th win. You tend to take those things for granted a little bit, especially when you have an individual like him that competes at the level that he does, and is almost consistently bonus points every damn time. But I mean, getting 100 wins in college wrestling right now at the Division I level, that's a hell of an accomplishment. Obviously, he's got a lot more he's going to win, but I was just looking at that, and I don't think and he's not a guy that's going to want a pat on the back. It's like my job. It's what we're supposed to do. But I can tell you that thinking about the team and the makeup of the team right now, man, they're following his lead. We're getting better every single time out, and as a coach, that's an exciting thing to see your team improving and be hungry and just being excited about their progress. We got a pretty good mix of young and old. We got some young guys that they know they're pretty good and they think they can win right now. They're right there. If you think about some of these matches that we had this weekend, 25 in particular, man, Trevor scrapped his tail off. He's getting better every time out. You're in an OT match with, a top 5 guy in the country and really had some positions to win, had a single leg up, so those are great things that you can build off of. Obviously, you want to figure out how to win those matches. And, I feel like these younger guys, I don't know. I don't think they're younger guys anymore. So what I mean by that is when you go to Las Vegas, which is obviously a high level competition, you go to those national duels and you're wrestling, top 5 teams. You're wrestling another duel, another top 5 times top 7 team. You I guess you're not surprised by anything that happens. So liked how we competed. No doubt that we're improving as a team and getting better. Um, Close gets old though. I'll tell you that. Oh, you're close. You're close. You're close. We had plenty of opportunities to win that Nebraska meet. Plenty. You know, plenty of opportunities. But we had some guys really step up and compete their tails off too. Happel, Hardy's an All-American, and they've had some scraps. And heck, man, he's down 7-4 late in the match, gets a reversal, gets a takedown with less than 10 seconds left, gets a takedown in overtime. That was what a great match. And the last couple of matches that those two guys have had, it's must see. It's must see. It's must watch wrestling. Just because of points getting put on the board, but just guys wrestling through every single position. And I could tell you from wrestling, when you wrestle someone and they get tired, it's how you make a guy feel, and that's a hard thing not to take into the next match with you a little bit in the back of your head. When, man, I've got a guy and I've got him really fatigued and tired, and man, he's going to keep coming. That's in the back of your head a little bit, and we talk about kind of building a reputation, and Apple's doing that, and how he's training and competing. So that was a great match. He had a guy, Ron Vardy, wrestling the number 1 guy in the country, and in late, almost scores in the third period, and you don't like to say, okay, happy with a loss, but he competed his tail off. He didn't give up bonus points, and you're going to win duels like that against teams like that. You have to be able to do those type of things, and he did a great job of that. And Ryder Downey beating 2 wins, but beating a guy that's All-American, undefeated so far this year, won Las Vegas. Those are huge wins for guys, for freshmen, that you can beat anybody in the country and you can do it from the start. 65, RJ's getting better every time out. Just let the guy get to his body a few times. And 65 had a lead, late in the third period, and he's still adjusting a little bit from 57 to 65, but there's a few positions that you're not going to be able to hang in, especially a guy like that who gets to body, gets you up and down. 74 in a scrap, single leg, I think 3 or 4 times, got to finish. Parker, obviously being Parker, scoring a ton of points, leading our team. 97. Volker had a big win against Wyoming. I try to caution myself and I'll be critical to referees. Refereeing is not an easy job. I could tell you that's not a consistently a fall that's called. very quick, not in position. I didn't feel like, but you always got to be careful whenever you roll across your back. And then with that, like I said, we had multiple matches that we certainly could have won. So it wouldn't even have come down to that. So we have to keep that in our hands as much as possible. But I wasn't very happy about that situation. But I said we got to keep it in our hands, and sometimes that's gonna happen. You're not always gonna get a favorable call, or a position's not called, but it could be called. It's just not normally what happens. I can tell you, and I know, apologize to our team because there should never be a point where a coach takes away a team a point, because of how you're acting or what you're doing. You should never be a detriment to your team. And you have to have constraint. You have to have a little bit more control in that. You can't walk on the mat, even if I thought I was walking on the mat with a blood time, and the referee didn't think so. And I'd definitely been in his ear quite a bit, but I have to have much better control than that. And I asked my team to do that, so I have to be able to do that too. So I can find a balance, but like I told him, I said I'm never going to be a coach that sits on his hands. I can tell you that. That's just not my style. But I can do it probably. I can figure out how to do it in a little bit more productive way where the referee doesn't hold it against you. Where felt like that happened a little bit, but like I said, we still had it within our control. And then Tyrell went and got a couple takedowns in the third, got a bonus point, and we end up in a tie meet, but they won because they had the fall. So I know some people kind of asking about what criteria is. It comes down to who wins more matches, and then if there's bonus point victory, obviously they had a pin at 97, and that was the difference maker for for the meet in that situation. But I thought we competed really well. Handled Wyoming, scored a ton of points on top, and then we compete our ass off in Nebraska, and happy with the progress that's being made. Good crowd, I like it. I think it's fun when there's a hostile environment. I think it's fun when fans are involved. I like being able to chirp a little bit with the crowd, and in a good way, not being a dick, but I'm going to defend our guys, but I also am going to have fun. What's more enjoyable than going and competing? We do all this work. You guys don't see the tens and thousands and hours of work that these guys put in, and they get 7 minutes to be able to do it and show it out there when they compete. And you as a coach, kind of the work's done, but that's kind of your last fight with them, and they have to know that you have their back, and they know that. But I'm really happy with the progress that's being made. Now it has to continue to happen every time out. And I know guys, and you hate to say that you gain from a loss, but I saw some guys that maybe lost matches, but they left the match in a really good place. Like, man, I'm getting better. Look at where I'm at. Look at the improvements that I'm making. Holy cow, man! I kept it within striking distance. And then you have 10 guys doing that, or really you have 35 guys. That's what we have to understand. Every single guy is adding to this. Every single guy in our roster is adding to this. Every single guy is holding up their end of the bargain of being part of this team. And that's why I feel like we're moving forward, because I think we have so many guys on one side. Almost every single guy's on this side, and they're not fighting it, they're for it, and they feel it. And so it's a good place to be now. I think we're 1-4 as a team, so you're probably like, well, how the hell can you feel you're in a good place being 1-4 as a team? Well, I see the progress being made, and I see who we've wrestled so far, and we'll be prepared for this weekend. I know guys are looking forward to another opportunity to compete in McLeod in front of the home crowd, and hopefully we can get a big crowd. Our guys, I tell you what, our guys deserve it and earn it, and you make a difference for us. So as always, man, get out. I think they're having a youth night, so if you have a youth club, I think you can get in for free. You got to get your tickets pretty dang soon. So I'll stop talking now, and I guess anybody got any questions?
You mentioned the loss to Nebraska.
Yeah.
the frustration of being that close. But from what you're saying, are you taking that frustration and turning it into hunger?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can take those things both ways, right? We can feel sorry for ourselves. Oh man, we could have won this meet, or like, hey, we're improving. We're getting better. Look at where we're at. Because on paper, I'm sure you're looking at that meet on paper. I'm sure they're significant favorites. Which means nothing on paper. That's why we do. We do that paper. We throw that shit away because it don't matter. It don't matter when you step out there, and that's what we're trying to get our guys to understand. Um, so yeah, I think they're not discouraged in any way. They're encouraged, but you want to get to the other side of that too, because I don't care, like a close loss and a win. Yeah, it's a lot different. It's a lot different. Like we're using it in the right way, but I'm just saying, like it's time to get to the other side of those.
Nebraska victory lap, the win at heavyweight against Wyoming, and then that heavyweight wrestler did not wrestle against you guys. Can you comment on that?
I don't. I know that he played football. I know that he had to bring his weight down. Um, I would guess that maybe they don't feel comfortable with where he's at. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe those two guys wrestle and the other guy beats him. It's a whole different situation to me when a meet's on the line too. you know, um, I know he's a big, strong kid, and I tell you what, they love, man. You couldn't get more indication that they love their football. I mean, I think other than '97, it got loud in a few situations, but that's about as loud as the crowd got. For that guy coming out and um, getting the pin. I guess I wasn't surprised that they didn't put him out there in that situation, just because he hasn't wrestled a whole lot. And not saying that he wouldn't be the guy in the future, but I would say Andrews has wrestled a lot of matches. He's out in Vegas. He was a high level recruit coming out, so it's not like they don't have quality options there. But I I wish they would have sent him out there, because I'll tell you this about Tyrell. He went for it. I mean, he knew that we needed a pin or we needed bonus points in that situation, and there was a situation where it was kind of it was almost where the guy almost put him to his back, and then it looked like he was going to come back on top. But I mean, he went for it in a few situations, and to me, that's all you can ask. That hey, I'm gonna take this risk for the team, and I mean, heck, he still got a bonus point for us, and I don't know, just finish the duel in the right way for us as a team. So.
How much of a difference does it make getting ready to see what you'll get out of Utah Valley when they wrestle at Iowa State the night before? And on top of that, it's also the first competition they've had in a few weeks, so you haven't had a whole lot recently that you can look at with them.
Yeah, I mean, I got a pretty good idea of of what they'll send out there, but injuries, things happen. You're not really sure. I mean, our job is to have our guys prepared and ready for whoever steps out there. Um, I don't know. I mean, you watch something the night before, but I've had that before. We're like, oh, it's a benefit to us because we're sitting. I think if you're sitting or you going back to back days, you have to look at it as a benefit to you. Because if you look at it any other way, I think you start getting in the wrong frame of mind. But we'll watch them meet, we'll see the results, and we'll see the matches, and I think I don't know if it's a benefit or not. I mean, I know Iowa State's got a good team, so they're going to come off a hard match, and they're going to come into another really hard match in hostile environment. So. Anything else? Let's see. I'm trying to think of anything else. The Steelers made the playoffs, so that's good. We'll see.
As a Packer fan, thanks for the win the previous week over the Seahawks.
That was a big win. Yeah, I like seeing the Packers. I like seeing the Packers in the playoffs too. That wouldn't hurt my feelings if they beat the Cowboys, but we'll see. Foster won't appreciate that a whole lot. But no, 7:00 Saturday. Get out to McLeod. Let's make that place loud and rowdy, and then we got another opportunity for our team. But I tell you what, if you're not excited about the trajectory of where the program is going and where this group of individuals is going, then you're not paying any attention to what's going on. So it's a great time to be a UNI wrestling fan. as always. But we got an incredible group of individuals, that I'll tell you our 3 captains right now, because I think that's important, and understand that this is something that comes from our guys. Parker's captain, unanimous. Cale Happel, and then Julian Farber. So those 3 guys right now are captains of our team, and we get captains every year and try to do 3 guys, and it's voted on by our team. And a few of those guys didn't get a whole lot of votes a couple years ago. So what that tells me is that they've been men of action. They've done it through what the guys have been able to see, and leaders can emerge. You just got to give them the opportunity. And so we have a lot of leaders emerging on our team. And even those young guys, heck, man, we got some freshmen that are wrestling their damn tails off, and they're not acting like freshmen, and they don't need to act like freshmen, because nothing else is guaranteed other than the opportunity that's right in front of you. So the next opportunity is at Utah Valley, and we'll be excited and ready for it. So go Panthers.